But he had an open container of alcohol in the car too, though?
Yes, the surveillance shows that he hadn't been driving from 8:15 to 11 p.m. and the car was also smoking at the time they.
Tell me what happened in this case, because I don't know anything about it.
I mean, if defense.
No, but I want,
Okay.
please, read to me the dims.
Okay, Judge. My computer's been slow today, so my apologies.
It's okay. I want to know that I'm making the right decision. Mr. Vander Slice, I take public safety extremely serious. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're a small farm animal. My only concern is public safety, and if you leave a wake of death, that's just not a good thing, and now you've got a DWI. They're saying that there's a prior DWI. You've got alcohol in the car as well. I mean, when do we say when? Now, I don't know specifically what happened in your car. I'm just looking at the allegation here.
Prior DWI, the judgment on dibs
So,
or
one of-
NCIC is incorrect.
Well, one of them was reduced to a reckless judge, and the other one in Dallas was dismissed because he was convicted of murder.
So
And
this
that
it's a third DWI.
It was, yeah, the other one was unrelated.
Go ahead.
On June 7th, 2024, officers were dispatched to the Circle K parking lot where they were advised of a white GMC Sierra. The officer observed the car partially in a stall, and the defendant was the driver and lone occupant passed out behind the wheel. The car was running and the defendant had his foot on the accelerator. The vehicle was in park. The officers woke the driver, who was extremely slow and lethargic, had slurred speech, watery eyes, a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, an unsteady gait, and had to be guided back to the patrol vehicle. 2 bottles of Crown Royal Apple whiskey were located in the car. One was empty and one had a little bit left. The defendant said, "I'm not going to do anything to incriminate myself" when asked to do SFSTs. The DICs were read and a search warrant was executed and blood was drawn.
There should be a additional part to the probable cause talks about the surveillance now.
I'm going to give you opportunity to say your piece, but so initially with this case, you went up and they had offered 270 days in jail.
365.
It was 365. And the reason is because you have a murder case. There was a prior murder case. Did you do time in TDC because of it?
Yes, sir, I did. I did 6.5 years on a 10 and they let me out for good behavior.
Okay, no, that's, and then not only that, but we have 2 prior DWIs as well. One was reduced, one was dismissed pursuant to the plea bargain agreement. So
2010, I think. 27 was the date of the offense, murder, the case that he had. And then that had nothing to do with the DWI.
The DWI was in 2009.
I sent a letter to everybody explaining, our agreement from before, which was a 2-year probation based on having looked at all this stuff. And then they re-looked at it and they said that they'd be fine with the TRAS recommendations. But the reasons why I think they tripped it up is it looks like the murder and the DWI were at the same time roughly, but not part of the same transaction. So the DWIs had nothing to do with anybody dying. That was a sort of a bad.
sure, I mean,
case.
so while he's on bond for DWI, picks up a murder case, or is it vice versa?
Murder, you can do a DWI case, I think is the, but it was at his aunt's funeral. And the problem is because he's been convicted of murder, the girlfriend wouldn't let him stay at the house, and he had a hotel. His wallet got stolen, so he was sleeping in the parking lot. And that's when he drank, when he went to sleep. If you look at the offense report, it does fill in a supplement after Mike and I talked. The officers went and looked at the surveillance. The surveillance, his car is not functional, and at night the lights don't work. So he had to park before it got dark. He couldn't stay at the hotel. He parks in a parking space at the convenience store, drinks, falls asleep, gets up to go to the restroom at like 10:30, which is 2 or 3 hours later. So the car doesn't move while he's drinking his apple crown. The car doesn't
Do
move at
you
all.
have that on video so that we can
That's on
verify
video
that?
surveillance.
Have you seen that?
I believe he looked at it with Kelsey. that what you
I've
said?
looked at it and it's in their stuff, but it's also in the police report. The officers looked at it and they put it in the DIMS as a supplement.
You take a look.
At least the DIMS I read. So, and it says from 8:15 to about 11:03 when they came there, that he did not drive his car. And that's when he says he sat in the parking lot and drank the liquor that he bought at the liquor store before 9 o'clock, obviously. And
So you're telling me that he pulls up to a liquor store,
he pulls up to a convenience store. So
convenience store,
correct. And
buys the whiskey
buys some whiskey
at
because
Circle K?
no, it's a different store. So he pulls up the liquor store before 9 o'clock. Then he pulls up to the Circle K at 8:15, I believe, or 8:30.
So how do we know he's not drinking?
So Judge, the supplement says that officer also swore the video at the Circle K shows the defendant entering the parking lot of the store in his motor vehicle at 8:20 PM on June 6, 2024, and officers arrived on scene at around 10:50 PM on the same day. So they see him driving into the parking lot.
How do we know he's not drinking before he pulls into the parking lot?
Well, that's why I'm pleading. But, that's part of the reason. Obviously, his car doesn't move for the time he's in the parking lot. He told me he bought the drinks before when he found out he could no longer be in the hotel. And that is because his lights didn't work due to an accident that his car had. He had to shut it off before it got dark. So he parked, he had nowhere else to go.
So there's no accident in this case?
There's
No
no
injury.
accident in this
Judge.
case, no. He had nowhere to go because of the murder conviction. He can't stay with his girlfriend when she has her kids.
Are you still on parole now?
No, sir.
Yeah, it was a 5-year offer from the state. It had to do with a roommate and a fight, ironically, over he was trying to prevent the roommate from driving intoxicated. But it not really a roommate, but it was a guy who was.
So do we really have to abandon the first paragraph, right? Because he said that in the Panola County, that's not a DWI conviction,
Yes,
correct?
Judge, that's
Yeah,
correct.
Okay, so let's abandon the first paragraph. The second paragraph, are you wanting to abandon as well? That would make it a mandatory 5-day minimum if we don't abandon.
Yes, Judge, and because we agreed, we came to you without an agreed rec, and we said that we would do what here as
If you
recommended.
plead true to this first paragraph here, that would make it a 30-day minimum.
Which paragraph? Yeah.
The murder,
No, I think the intent was to abandon that one.
Yes, Judge, so
abandon all three.
not
Yes.
the last one as well?
Yes.
That would make it a mandatory 30-day minimum.
Yes, Judge. I don't.
All right, Mr. Vander Slice, what you're doing now is you're entering into an agreement with me and you want me to punish you as far as pleading guilty to this DWI conviction. You need to understand that this is a lifetime decision that you're making today, that once you plead guilty, there's no turning away. You give up so many valuable rights. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, the right to be arraigned, charge read in open court. If you're not a citizen or, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, you give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can't take it away. You have not been able to come up to an agreement with the state. The only other option is to either set up a trial or come to me if they waive that the ability to go to trial and to come to me for punishment. And they have agreed to do so. Do you want to come to me for punishment?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Well, I'm pleading guilty, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find you guilty. The idea is that, how old are you? You're 52.
Sir.
When does it stop? At what point do you learn? At what point do you say, I can't, I got to stop. How much money has it cost you over the years? How much time has it cost you over the years?
understand, and I totally agree with you. And I have stopped, and I am done, and I am stable in all directions at this time, and plan on staying that way and not disrespecting your county at all anymore. And you never see me again in this courtroom.
Everyone says that.
No,
You know, the thing is that words mean nothing today, man. You know, I get it that maybe in 1890 business was done on a handshake, but handshakes don't mean squat now, because people now, they don't think of consequence. They act without thinking, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? They just act. They shoot first, ask questions later. And in life, you got to know when to say when. Shit is always going to happen in your life. You're always going to step in shit, right? But the idea is that you scrape it off your boot and you walk on, because it's going to constantly happen in your life. Something is always going to trip you up, whether someone dies, whether you lose your job, whether your wife cheats on you. It's always going to happen. But the idea is to figure out how to cope, how to deal with it, how to deal with the anger when it comes to you, because you're going to get angry. This agreement that you're getting with us today, you're pleading guilty to 180 days in jail. I'm going to put you on probation for 2 years, so I've got you next to me for the next 2 years.
yes, sir.
And what we want to see is, how do you deal with the anger? How do you cope with the loss? Because it's invariably going to happen, whether you lose your pot, your mom, your girlfriend, someone cheats on you. That's how we need to cope with it. I got to imagine prison must have been one of the worst experiences ever, was it not?
So I was raped in prison.
And yet that now we have more, you know, it sucks. Prison's not a great thing. It's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to teach you not to come back.
I'll never be back again.
I bet you said that when you pled to the murder case. How much do you want to bet you said that on the murder case? I'm trying to make a point.
Sir, I
The
understand.
point I'm making is, how do we reach you so that when you get angry again, when you get hurt again, you don't reach for a bottle, you don't reach for some kind of hardcore drug, get into a car and kill someone. All I'm asking you to do is don't take another life.
I will have the proper coping skills for any type of anger that comes in my direction for any reason.
Would say he's done a few things while being out on bond to show that his words are backed up with actions.
What has he done?
He hasn't tested positive. He's blown in the machine. He's
That's good.
sort of
That's
put
great.
his life together. He's actually off. His doctor has changed his medication because of the quitting drinking, has helped him with some mental problems. He's noticed that. He's sought out help. I think he's working on an IOP, and he's done a lot while on bond, but mostly just stopping and seeing what his life turned into after he stopped, and he sort of likes it. And yeah.
That's all we ask. You know, every single person that comes up here, $40 to $50, one button, wherever you want to go, Uber will take you.
Right.
You know, I routinely take, when I go out with my wife, because I like to drink,
Yes, sir.
I take an Uber everywhere. So I know I don't end up on the other side of this bar as well. As part of the agreement between you and I, you will be doing a repeat offender DWI education class, Thinking for a Change, 4 victim impact panels. No drugs, no alcohol, substance abuse treatment. There is a no breath test refusal. So if you are pulled over in a car and an officer asks you to submit to a breath test, you must do it.
Yes, sir. I have a lifesaver in my unit.
But if you get pulled over and an officer asks you, that's what I'm trying to say, you have to submit to it. You must maintain a guardian interlock, no drugs, no alcohol, a $150 one-time donation to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, intensive outpatient treatment followed by supportive outpatient treatment.
Sure.
Thank you for being so forthcoming. Not everybody is, and I truly appreciate it. And all we want to do is help as much as possible. And that's all it's what we like to do. We want to see you succeed, believe it or not. We want you to, walk out of here leaving better than you came. That's the idea. So that in the future, when you're confronted with these issues, you think before acting. That's all we're asking.
Sure.
All right. Do you have anything else that you guys wanted to add?
No, Judge.
Okay. Anything else? Say it again? No, because it's a true first, right? It's a true first because the first one, so I'm not going to suspend the license now. I want you to understand though, is that if I find that you drink, I'm going to put you in a rehab facility. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care if you're kicking and screaming and you got George coming up here just bitching and hollering. I don't care. If you consume, and I don't care where it's coming from, I'm going to put you in a rehab facility. If you violate this agreement, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to deem you a public danger and I'm going to make your bond so high, you're going to go nuts. And then into a rehab facility, which is at a minimum 9 months if you respond well to treatment. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Vander Slice, we wish you the best of luck. I'll find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement, send you to it. Yeah. What do you do for a living, Mr. Vander Slice?
I'm an auto broker, sir. I help people, families that are facing in Houston gain access to vehicles.
And how much money do you make a month? Okay. The reason I'm asking is because of the DPS fines and fees and surcharges.
Yeah, he's basically indigent. I mean, part of the problem was he was living in his car. So it wasn't a hotel room where he can just stay. He does have somewhere to stay most of the time.
Jen, the state, obviously it's up to you, Judge, but the state would be willing to forego the $150 donation to MAD.
No. That's part of the agreement that's going to stay,
Okay.
right? But let me do this. Have him fill out an indigency affidavit because I want to know.
Sure.
Be honest. You're going to fill out something. You're going to swear to it. So I want you to be honest. How much money you make? If you don't qualify, then you're going to have to pay this fine, but it's spread over 2 years. So you're going to end up paying like $50 a month. So it's not expensive, but I want you to be honest on this affidavit. All right. Okay. Come on. Mr. Coleman, how are you, man? Looks like you are wanted out of the state of Ohio for robbery in the second degree.
Iowa, Judge.
What did I say? No, sorry, Iowa. Well, not really close. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir? All right, sir. We wish you the best of luck. Thanks. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Judge.
What's new, man?
Good. It's on the fugitive docket. It's Jefferson, right?
Yes.
And Dustin, or no. Was it Dustin who was here for something?
Yeah.
Take a seat, sir. Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here because I have a plea in another court. So he waived extradition. He signed it on Monday, but
Jefferson.
he's requesting a bond, Your Honor. He's wanted out of Clark County, Nevada. I'll let the state read you. Let the state do their part.
Hey, guys, do you mind bringing out Mr. Jefferson, please? Thanks.
Mr. Jackson, I don't think he made it up today. I have something.
They're gonna tell judge kind of what you want it for. And then they're asking that nothing in the law. No, it's up to the judge if you get a bond. Oh, that's up to the judges in Nevada. He has no say over Nevada. There's no jurisdiction. He has no jurisdiction in that state. None of us can do anything. I don't know. We don't know when Nevada's going to do. But Nevada has 14 days to pick you up from when you sign the waiver. So it's technically the 15th day. And you signed on Monday. Let's see. You signed on Monday.
All right. Sorry about that. Good morning, Mr. Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson, you are wanted out of the state of Nevada, specifically Clark County, for a robbery. And you are asking me to set you a bond. Is this right? Okay. I don't know anything about you. I'm now getting to know you for the first time, so I don't know. My primary concern is, are you a dangerous person? Because, you know, I have so much drama in my life right now. It's ridiculous. I just don't need any more. And what I don't want to do is release you if you are a danger to my public, because I cherish that, right? I don't need any more. So we're going to find out a little bit about you, and then we'll see where we go from there. Amy, let's get to know Mr. Jefferson.
Yes, so he's wanted from Clark County, Nevada for conspiracy to commit robbery, and theft value over 100,000 or greater. The state's opposed to a bond at this time. He, as the court knows, he's being held. Well, he's not being held. He's made bond also on robbery threats in the 228th and reckless driving.
He has another robbery here?
Yes,
That's local?
yes, it's a
It's
robbery
open?
threat in the 228th. It is open. He's made bond on that.
Okay.
So you got a robbery there. You pick up a robbery here too. It's a robbery.
This warrant was also issued December 18th, very recently.
When was bond posted, if you don't mind on that?
Yeah.
He's he's on bond. He's on bond for reckless driving.
Okay.
Picks up a robbery here in September. So I guess he's on bond for a robbery here. And now he's picked up another robbery in Nevada.
I thought the robberies in Nevada were old.
He
Oh,
made
she says they were just issued 12/18.
He made the bond for the robbery threats on September of this year. That case was filed also September of this year. And then this new warrant was issued this December. His reckless driving was,
What court is that out of?
that was the
28th.
28th.
No, the reckless driving.
Oh, this one's out of court 10.
What's the court date on that?
That is
January
on January 3rd.
He has a general order bond on that.
Yeah, he's made bond on that one. He also has made bond on the robbery.
And he's made court, has he made, my question is, if he's made his court appearances, Your Honor, I mean, I think he's proven that he should go on to court, showing up to court. So if you did consider bonds, he could then, don't worry about the reckless driving.
The state also wanted to add that he was just barely out of parole from earlier this year.
It was what?
Barely out of parole from earlier this year, as they have.
What was he on parole for?
That I don't know exactly.
Mr. Jefferson, I got to be frank. You scare me, man. You know, you continue to pick up cases, and they're serious cases, right? Second degree felony. I don't know, maybe this is a third degree, but nevertheless, you have a robbery here. You pick up a robbery over there. That scares me. If I let you out, are we going to get a third one? I don't want that to happen. I know you're telling me no, but history tells me otherwise. All the open cases tell me otherwise. Now, I do have some good news for you. The good news is that you've made bond on these two cases here. So there's no holding pattern, meaning that Nevada has 14 days to come get you. And if they don't come get you, then Harris County releases you. So you have that going for you now, but I just don't feel comfortable giving you a bond. You scare me, man. The last thing I want is a third robbery. Do you understand? You gotta understand from my perspective, I don't know you. You're telling me all these gumdrops and rainbows and bunnies jumping in the woods, but you've got all these 3 open cases. They're serious. Sorry, I can't, just.
Okay, he signed on Monday, Judge, so I guess,
So.
can we reset it to what is that, the 8th?
Case, right, Monday, so 1, 2, 3 days have passed. So you got another, 12 days, give or take.
So can I get a reset for the
3, 4,
8th? Is
5.
that correct? If I'm counting it?
The 7th.
The 7th, even better. Okay.
Yeah, so you said the 23rd?
He signed on Monday, the 23rd is my understanding. So I think the 7th.
Yes, the 7th.
So they're not going to get you on the 7th. You'll be released in Harris County.
So they have until the 6th to come get you, okay? If they don't come get you by the 6th, then on the 7th, you'll be released. But you got to understand, even if we release you, that warrant will eternally remain open. And you could get picked up again the minute you walk out of custody. If you do get out, I would immediately go back to Nevada, take care of that. Otherwise, at some point, you're just going to get picked up again, and it's going to continue to happen.
You can hire an attorney.
And the other thing is that, right, when you do go up there, you got to let your attorney here know what the plans are so that you don't get revoked upstairs here, because then you're going to be in the exact same situation over there like how you are here. You understand? So if you go over there to Nevada and try to handle things and they put you in custody and no one knows about it here in Harris County, you have not advised your lawyer, they may think that you've just jumped ship and they might revoke the bond here, and then they'll place a hold here in Harris County because you're in Nevada. And if nobody knows, you know what I mean? So you got to let your lawyer know here.
You're a misdemeanor lawyer on your record. Do you have a lawyer for both of them, or were you appointed lawyer? Okay, so you need to tell your lawyer that if they don't pick you, you need to contact him, let him know you're in custody.
He has a lawyer in the felony, so
Yeah.
let your lawyer know in the
You
felony
need to let
case.
them know, and if they don't pick you up, you need to hire someone in Nevada, try to get you bonds on those, or you're gonna have to go out there and address them and turn yourself in and then see if they give you a bond.
All right.
So if they don't revoke your bonds here, you're gonna let your attorney know. You understand all that?
Okay, man. Good luck.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Amy.
I think that's all I have, so see you tomorrow, man.
Dustin, ready?
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, who do we have here?
Drake Simmons, Judge. It's
Summons Simmons.
fugitive case.
Good morning, Mr. Simmons.
Yeah, I talked today, Judge. We have a agreed bond of 5,000.
Okay. So, Mr.
Yeah, he just said that.
You are wanted out of the state of Louisiana for a second-degree battery. Your lawyer has agreed with the state, and you are in agreement, Amy, right?
Yes, Jay is unopposed to a 5K bond.
Okay, I will set your bond at $5,000 today. You have to understand that this is the only time that this is going to happen. We give you 2 weeks from the date of your release to go turn yourself into Louisiana. If you do that, this fugitive case against you gets dismissed. If you fail to do that, I'm going to issue a nationwide warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put your bond at 0, and it's not going to happen again. It doesn't matter what the excuse is. You have to go turn yourself in, and we're giving you enough time to do it. Do you understand? Now, the only other thing I'm going to advise you, don't wait until the last day to go, because as Murphy's Law dictates, what can happen will happen. Something invariably always happens when you go on the last day. Don't do it. As soon as you get out, make the plans to make it up there. Understand? Okay. I got you. We'll set the bond at 5,000.
He needs to have his waiver withdrawn and then also.
Yeah, it appears that he is waived, so he needs to withdraw that waiver.
Okay.
Understand by withdrawing the waiver, you lose the time that you have. By that, but in the event that he's unable to make bond, I don't know, that's why. Okay, of course. Should I go to court 10? Ma'am, you were charged with 2 counts. You're charged with possession of a controlled substance. You're also charged with theft. Looks like you guys have worked out an agreement where they're going to dismiss the, is this what you want to do, ma'am? You need to understand that this is a very important thing, that you're making a lifetime decision today, that this theft will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You sure you want to do this? You're giving up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, there's no turning back. It will stay like this forever. You sure you want to do this? All right. How do you plead to the offense of theft? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 3 days that you've done. I'll roll your court costs so you won't owe anything. Good luck to you, man. Thanks. Thank you, Aaron. Ma'am, we need you to come back. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Ricardo and Michael Pham.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Your Honor. I'm here with Miss Darcy Davis.
Okay.
You required her presence here, Your Honor. She's out of town. She stated she will not be able to make it until the 2nd, which is next Thursday.
The case is over 200 days old. We required her appearance. She's continually failed to appear. What am I supposed to do? Continue to let her fail to appear?
Can we set for a plea next Thursday, Your Honor? She said she could be here. But the problem is I won't be here next Thursday.
So you want to set it for a plea for next Thursday? Yeah, you can't. I mean,
No. Yeah, can you do it the following Monday, Your Honor?
no, it's 200 days old. Today we set it for bond forfeiture because she failed to appear repeatedly, man.
How about the 7th, Your Honor? I'll be back. I'll be back on the 7th.
That's even more, Michael.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My sister passed away. We're gonna spread her ashes next week.
Okay, you know what? She's supposed to be here today. We've already done this before. She failed to appear before. She's not here today. I'm going to end up revoking her bond, and then she can come whenever she wants.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. All right.
All right, bud.
Thank you.
I'll let you know.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Judge.
5,002.
I'm pushing on Rodriguez. He's on, today's on.
Okay, great. Come up, sir.
And we have those results.
Great.
Judge, David presented project for THC, amphetamine, MDMA, cocaine, and everything.
Is there something that's not, really? Stop. It's a rhetorical question, Mr. Rodriguez, but I'm going to tell you now, it stops today.
Sure.
We're going to do this the easy way, or we're going to do this the hard way. I am giving you the opportunity for you to try to do this on your own. If you are incapable, then you're going to stay with me and we will do it the hard way. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will be required to test bi-weekly here with me so I know that you're not using.
Yes, Your
And if you
Honor.
show me that you can stay clean, then I will stop. But we will do this in baby steps. But
Yes, Your
for
Honor.
the time being, you're going to stay here and test a lot with me. Do you understand? I will give you a pass of 45 days on the THC, 45 to 50 days on the THC.
Yes, Your Honor.
But if after that time you continue to test positive for marijuana,
Right. Yes, Your Honor.
I have given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Anna. If Anna tells me she can't get a hold of you because you play games, likewise, the bond will go bye-bye.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right? Okay?
Thank you, Judge. We'll see you on
All right,
Monday.
Mr. Rodriguez, see you Monday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can we be excused?
I'm ready. Mr. Vander Slice,
Yes, Your Honor.
what are we doing?
I think we've, I guess to use her words, may have come full circle. Except for instead of going to war, we might have to do a war without a agreed rec. So I don't know what, I got the email
going
from
to
the
do?
chief.
To do with that and agreed rec?
So this wasn't my call, Judge. It was Chief. It was an email I got. It was forwarded to me. I guess she spoke with Ms. Dozier and they agreed to come forward to you without an agreed rec. But I believe they spoke to defense about pursuant to the email is that we would agree to do whatever TRAS recommended. And
Whatever TRS is for treatment. is what it
yeah,
says.
and TRAS recommended outpatient treatment.
And I can sort of summarize what the issues are if you wish.
Intensive outpatient substance abuse programming and supportive outpatient substance abuse programming.
Okay. So let's do it.
Okay,
Yeah, write it up.
so probation with those two conditions.
Yeah. Do a 2-year. And we'll have to do the conditions.
Sure.
And, let's see.
And some of it was due to the surveillance did show that he hadn't driven for 3 of the hours before the stop. So there's some issues.
I don't, my only concern is going forward.
Okay.
How do we go forward?
We're ready.
How do we present going forward? Because if he violates it, if he continues to use, I'm going to put him in jail or I'm going to put him in a treatment facility.
Yeah,
It's
he's
either
been-
way. But in that time, I now have him and we can do what we will.
Okay, Judge.
Okay.
We have him over 2 years.
Mhm.
We got it. All right.
All right, thank you. Sorry,
Thanks.
I'm gonna borrow this. if that's
Ricardo,
okay.
You can have it. Yeah.
I just want it so I can-
Thank you for being patient.
Hey, Judge, can you hear me?
Hey, bud.
Hey, Judge, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Judge, I am zooming in on Mr. Rejam Mederos, M-E-D.
Okay.
He was set for bond forfeiture today. I'm not sure if he's in the courtroom right
Nope.
now. He is not. He didn't check in. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'll leave it to your discretion on what you want to do.
Yeah, he gone.
Okay.
So I'm going to end up revoking the bond. How many times has he been gone?
I think this is the first time. The issue with him is he doesn't have constant cell service, and so the numbers I'm calling are disconnected. I think he may be low on funds, and so last time we were talking about a plea. There's a plea deal in place for him, but after that, I haven't been able to get in contact with him to come to court.
Okay, well, I'm going to end up revoking it and then we'll see. At some point, we'll get him back and then we'll, do you want to withdraw from the case? Stay on.
I'll stay on for now, Judge. I'll look at it. Then if I'm going to withdraw, I'll just file a motion.
Okay.
All right.
Done.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Okay, of course. Thanks, Ricardo. $5,002 on that one as well. That was bottom of page 17. Okay,
Yeah.
what else we got?
Bond.
And in the back, I have Mr. Bill. And Chisholm walked in and walked out, so I don't know what happened.
So on Brazil, Chisholm went to go talk to the felony prosecutor to see what's happening in the felony.
Okay. And then there's, after that, Mr. Malcolm, and that's it.
Have you reached out to Hatton? Ramona?